so it is Sarah Sunbeams, and today I'm doing my slightly late August wrap-up video, the first of its kind. So in August I read 9 books, which I think is pretty good. So I'm just gonna kind of go through them quickly and give a little bit of a brief overview and what I thought. And I've decided to do these not with like a star rating, but I'm gonna do them kind of like with grades, because I think it makes it a little easier to categorize like books and stuff and junk. So without any further ado, let's get into these delightful things that I have read. Alright, so the first book that I read was Wings by April Lynn Pike. I don't have a copy right now. I got it from the library actually. This book was weird. It was a book about a girl who finds out that she is a fairy and conflict and adventure happens, but the kind of main premise that, like, I'm not gonna say because spoilers, is just doesn't make any sense at all. Like, none whatsoever. Like, but there's a lot of romance happening, but a good portion of the book is just kind of talking about how beautiful everybody is. Everybody's tall and model-esque and flawless. And then they also talk about the main character's lack of an eating habit quite a lot, and I thought that was a little strange, but I mean, I finished it. I'm giving it like a C+ here, being a little generous. Not the best, but hey, books. Number 2 this month, a book you may not have heard of before. Of course, The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. So I'm giving this book an A. I really surprisingly liked it. I went into it thinking I was gonna not like it at all because I'm really just not a contemporary person. Definitely cried, definitely had the feels. The only thing, it definitely was a little too, not scripted, but just the language and the ideas and the thoughtfulness that the characters that are supposed to be children are saying is kind of just like too unbelievable and too wise for a child. But other than that, totally awesome. Obviously, everybody's just losing their shit over this book. So yeah, it was good. A. Next we have The Giver by Lois Lowry, and I've never read this book before. I never read it in school. So I finally found this sweet copy at my local bookstore, and I read it, and I really liked it actually. I didn't realize it was a dystopian book before I read it. I really loved the premise of this book. I thought it was a really interesting idea. The middle kind of not that much happened, and then the very ending I felt was a little bit rushed, but other than that, like, this book was totally amazing. But I've heard that the next 3 books are companion novels and not that good. I don't know. Do you guys know? Do you think they're good? Are they all companion novels? I don't even know. But yeah, I really liked it. I gave this book an A-. Next, I read Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs, and this book was so cool. I love the premise of this book. The pictures were just like so up my alley because I collect old, weird, creepy things. It was kind of sold to me as like a scary book that was gonna give you the chills and the oogie boogies, and I definitely like didn't get that at all. I just thought it was like more of a children, young adult, adventure story, romance, a little bit of like creepy monsters and stuff, but just like really cool. Yeah, I really liked this book, and I definitely want to read Hollow City, the second book of the series. Just really stoked on this book, and I think I really want to get the graphic novel that is out also. I saw it in the bookstore and I was like, oh my god, I need to own you. So that's definitely in the future giant list of things that I want to buy. But yeah, so I gave this book an A, and I totally enjoyed it. This book was awesome. Next, I read The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, and this book was just insane. Oh my god, I read it for the Booksplosion Book of the Month. I have had this on my shelf for quite a while, and I just never got around to reading it. The imagery and just the language and the mood of this book was phenomenal. The plot was a little The plot was not very good, I thought. It definitely was a really weak plot. The main focus was the circus, and I didn't care about the main characters at all. The main characters are Celia and Marco, these magician wizardy things with magical powers, and they have to duel and fight to the death. But there was just like a lot of problems with the plot, like what were the parameters of this wizard competition? It definitely was not about this competition. It was about building the atmosphere of the circus, and it definitely could have done with like a tighter plot. But I totally was really interested in the side characters actually. Widget, Bailey, and Friedrich Thiessen, I'm totally saying that wrong. Those three were just my favorite parts of this book. Like, I really enjoyed reading about them, and I mean, this book is a gorgeous book. But yeah, it was just like a really different from anything I've ever read before, and it's just like a really beautiful book. But I gave this book a B+ just because of the plot problems and the weird lack of explanation on what was kind of going on with the main like wizard battle. Okay, next I read Dune by Carrie Corp and Lori Langdon. I have it on my Kobo, but I did do a review on this book because I absolutely loved this book. It was like, this book is like my guilty pleasure because I feel it's a silly, fun book, and it's really nothing to be kind of taken seriously. It's about two girls, two best friends, McKenna and Veronica, and they go to Scotland for their summer vacation, and they get into all these crazy shenanigans with these sexy Scottish princes, and adventure and romance happens, essentially. And I thought this book was just so cool. I really liked it, and I'm so stoked for the second book because I'm really a 13-year-old girl in an adult body. But yeah, Dune definitely gets an A+ because of that awesome factor. Next, I read The Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare, and oh my god, you guys, I don't know why I didn't read this any earlier. I am kicking myself for not getting on this amazing ride of a book. This I like even better than the Mortal Instruments series. This book, you guys, A+. A+. The premise, the characters, the sass, the adventure, intrigue. Like, I don't even know what I could pick as something I didn't like. I literally liked everything about this book, and that doesn't happen like all the time because I'm kind of a persnickety bitch when it comes to books. But dang, this book was amazing. So I am continuing on with this series, full shiggity diggity, but oh, I don't even, words escape me on how good this book is. If you have not read it and you like adventure, young adult romance, and or steampunk coolness, like, I could just throw more words at you, but if you get nothing from any of these meaningless words, just get that you should read this book like right now and or yesterday if possible, because it is so good. Oh my god, this book, guys. Then I read If I Stay by Gail Forman, and this book I did not like at all. I'm not a contemporary book lover. I picked this up because I was kind of like, maybe now that I'm older, I can enjoy some more contemporary things, and the premise was super interesting. But, I mean, there was nothing wrong with the book. I mean, it's written gorgeously, the characters are believable, it has great wittiness, like, just all the characters are super believable. In the story, a lot of people would think it's like tragic. It's just not my cup of tea personally, but that doesn't mean that this book is bad at all. Like, this book, if you're into contemporary and you're into kind of, I don't know, melancholy, life musing, flashbacky kind of things, then this book is definitely for you. Personally, me, not my thing. I don't know, it just didn't jive with me, if you know what I'm getting at. I don't know. I can't like really pick a specific thing that I like don't like about it. I just like, I don't know, it's just not my thing. I don't know. Let's just say I don't know again, because words. So lastly, I read The Merciless by Danielle Vega, and I also did a review on this book. You can go and watch it here if you so please. This book, I really like this. First, the cover. I guess I should give you a synopsis. So this book is about a girl that moves to a new town and horrible things happen, aka exorcism and or torture. It's definitely like kind of a gory book, kind of like a beginner's horror book, really. If you've never read horror before and you want to get into it, recommend. But this book was just like a kind of campy B-movie, but B-movie kind of thing. I really enjoyed it. I love the cover. Definitely want to know what happens next because it's just like such an exciting ending. The pace is like perfect because it just like gets more and more tense. If anything were to be resolved, then another problem appears instantaneously. She knows how to write a book because this book is very good. So I give this book an A. And I really enjoyed it. It was a very good read, and yeah, I don't know, I sat down and didn't get up until I was done reading it, so yeah. Alright, so those are all of the books that I read in the month of August. If you have any questions or want to know anything more about any of the books that I've talked about, definitely leave me a comment below and I will answer it to the best of my ability. Or if you want a more in-depth review on anything that I've talked about, then definitely let me know also, and I would be very happy to do a more in-depth review of a certain book. I kind of messed things up and I did my TBR for September video first, so that link is right here if you are interested in what I'm going to be reading in the month of September. And thank you guys so much for watching my video, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!